Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into a truly fascinating stack of sources you've shared with us. We're talking about the lightning-fast evolution of AI, the massive infrastructure that underpins it, and the surprising, often challenging ways it's reshaping industries and even global geopolitics, from groundbreaking approaches to data collection to, tectonic shifts in tech investment and even some serious cybersecurity curveballs. We have a lot of ground to cover.
It's not just a dynamic picture. It's a living, breathing ecosystem we're observing, really. Our mission today is to dig beneath the headlines, to extract the most important insights, connecting the dots on how these seemingly disparate pieces of information paint a comprehensive and incredibly revealing view of the tech world right now. We'll explore the emerging bottlenecks, the radical innovations, and most importantly, the broader implications for you as someone navigating this rapidly accelerating space.
Okay, let's unpack this right from the start then. We're constantly hearing about how AI models are becoming more accessible, almost like commoditized, and even compute costs are showing signs of coming down. But the real persistent bottleneck, the thing holding back the next wave of AI innovation, it's the data. It seems the old way of just indiscriminately scraping data from the internet just isn't cutting it anymore.
Yeah, what's truly striking here is this fundamental shift in what AI needs to learn. Think about it. Previous generations of AI models, like large language models, they largely relied on widely available, often public, scraped text data. But as AI moves into the physical world, think advanced multimodal models for robotics, truly understanding video, or nuanced audio, the data needed becomes inherently different. This new frontier demands data that's often private, sensitive, and carries significant intellectual property and, safety concerns. You simply cannot and really should not scrape this kind of data indiscriminately or illegally.
Right. So if companies can't just scrape their way to better AI, what does this mean for those trying to train these advanced AIs, especially when we're talking about real-world interaction? The sources pointed to a really intriguing solution emerging from a company called Poseidon, which uses crypto incentives. That sounds kind of wild, but how does it actually work to solve this data dilemma?
That's where the innovation lies, exactly. The critical challenge becomes, how do you efficiently coordinate the collection, the detailed labeling, and meticulous curation of truly massive amounts of this new private data, often from a global and decentralized workforce? Poseidon's approach leverages crypto incentives for this coordination, offering, two major advantages. First, it enables them to coordinate these incentives globally and pay contributors instantaneously, often using stablecoins or other crypto tokens. Imagine paying someone in Kenya for a piece of data as easily and quickly as you pay someone across the street. It's pretty powerful.
Wow, okay. Instant global payments.
And the second advantage is using blockchain as an immutable, tamper-proof ledger. This allows them to securely put this data and its associated intellectual property on-chain, tracking and attributing contributions, and licensing it efficiently with smart contracts. It's a fundamental shift in the data supply chain.
This immediately brought to my mind something like Axie Infinity, the game where people could earn money in tokens by playing. Is this a similar concept, but instead of gaming, people are contributing to AI training data? The source specifically mentions people needing to video themselves in the real world to help train something like Tesla's Optimus robot. So it's literally real-world data collection.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's precisely that kind of real-world data collection. Imagine Tesla needs to train a humanoid robot, like Optimus, to do something as seemingly simple as holding a coffee cup or walking across varied terrain. You don't just need one video. You need millions of angles, millions of iterations, and critically egocentric video footage, that is, video captured from the robot's own eye-level perspective in millions of different messy real-world settings.
Right, the robot's point of view.
Exactly. You absolutely cannot get that kind of data from the existing internet. Traditionally, companies might resort to hiring what amount to shell companies to run, digital sweatshops, coordinating tens of thousands of people manually. The source highlighted that Meta Platforms, for instance, recently acquired Scale AI, which used this very shell company model, and that acquisition actually left a huge vacuum in the market for this kind of specialized data collection. Poseidon aims to fill that vacuum directly with their crypto-incentivized, mass-scale, instantaneous coordination model.
That's a powerful analogy with Tesla and Optimus, showing the sheer scale of the data challenge. But it also begs the question, if anyone can contribute this data, how is it truly IP safe? And perhaps even more critically, how do you ensure the quality of this mass-contributed, ethically sourced data? Because garbage in, garbage out is still a huge challenge for AI training, right? Can a decentralized system truly provide the consistency and rigor that a massive corporation needs?
Those are crucial points, definitely. And they get to the heart of why this model is so interesting. On the IP front, yes, it's designed to be IP safe because contributors can actually set their specific licensing usage terms directly on the blockchain itself using smart contracts.
Okay.
This provides transparency and control in a way traditional models often struggle with. As for quality control, that's where Poseidon, as a decentralized entity, sort of steps in as an agent. While they are decentralizing and launching a decentralized app for this, they're also establishing mechanisms for curation and validation. Think of it less as a free-for-all and more as a coordinated marketplace with incentives for high-quality relevant data.
Right, incentives matter.
Precisely. And the fact that many organizations are apparently already dropping contracts from Scale AI to work with Poseidon suggests that they are indeed finding ways to deliver the quality and reliability needed for enterprise-level AI training. It points to a significant validation of this shift.
Okay, interesting. So we've seen how the very fuel for AI, the data, is undergoing this radical shift with these crypto incentivized models. But once you have that data, what kind of truly groundbreaking applications are we seeing? The sources highlighted a fascinating move by Netflix diving into AI video creation software from a startup called Runway AI. What are they hoping to achieve with this beyond just, novelty?
Yeah, this is where the rubber meets the road for content creation, isn't it? Netflix, on their earnings call, explicitly stated they're using AI not just for novelty, but to potentially lower costs for special effects and to reproduce motion capture without expensive, clunky hardware or green screens,
No more green screens, maybe.
potentially. The core idea is to significantly save costs on production and, perhaps even more excitingly, enable visual effects shots that were previously impossible or just prohibitively expensive. As Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos put it, AI represents an incredible opportunity to help creators make films and series better, not just cheaper. It's about empowering real people doing real work with better tools.
That sounds like a fantastic cost-saving measure and a creative enabler for studios, but my mind immediately goes to the visual effects artists and motion capture actors. Are we hearing any specific pushback or significant concerns about this technology directly cutting into livelihoods? Is there a viable path for them to adapt, or is this a pure displacement scenario that makes it controversial?
Oh, it absolutely is controversial, and you're right to focus on the human impact. This technology introduces genuine concern among many people in visual effects and related creative fields that it will indeed cut into their jobs, reducing the need for traditional labor-intensive processes.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's why studios, including Netflix and even Disney, who are also testing Runway's software, are reportedly a little bit hesitant to be public right now about their extensive AI usage. The stakes are incredibly high, and it's a very, very delicate conversation to have about automation in creative industries.
Speaking of big tech players and their evolving strategies, we also saw a mention that Google is playing catch-up in another area, recruiting news organizations for an AI licensing project. This shows how AI isn't just behind-the-scenes tech, but directly impacting creative industries and content creation models. What's the dynamic here, and why is Google feeling the heat?
Well, this is Google seemingly playing catch-up, as the source put it, because Microsoft has already been making massive licensing deals with news organizations for their content to train and feed AI models.
Right, Microsoft moved fast there.
They did. Google, in contrast, is just now planning a pilot with a mere 20 users. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it highlights a strategic vulnerability for Google. Their core search business, once an unassailable moat, is directly challenged by generative AI tools like ChatGPT. They need high-quality, licensed data to remain competitive in this new AI-driven information landscape.
So it's almost existential for search.
You could argue that. And while some in media might view these licensing deals as a temporary Band-Aid for revenue, many journalists are rightly concerned that AI is a job killer and fundamentally changes the creator business, leading to significant anxieties about their future. It's a really complex dance between a desperate need for data and the potential disruption of entire industries.
Absolutely. Okay, so all this AI needs truly colossal infrastructure, right? And we saw a headline-grabbing announcement about OpenAI and Oracle expanding their U.S. data center capacity. This wasn't just another partnership, was it? What's the sheer scale of this deal, and what does it tell us about the future of AI compute?
What's truly jaw-dropping here is the sheer scale of ambition. They're talking about developing 4.5 gigawatts of data center capacity across the country.
4.5 gigawatts.
Yeah, and to put that into perspective, a single gigawatt is often compared to the output of a nuclear reactor. So we're talking about the power equivalent of 4.5 nuclear reactors dedicated purely to AI. This is being called an unprecedented cloud deal, likely the largest single cloud deal ever signed. For Oracle, it's not just a big contract. It's a resounding sign of confidence from arguably the most important AI company at the moment, firmly positioning Oracle as a foundational player in the AI infrastructure race. It's the physical manifestation of the global AI arms race.
That's a staggering figure, just staggering. It makes you wonder who is actually paying for all of this. The sources mention SoftBank not being involved in financing this particular, what was it, $30 billion a year part of the project. So where does the rest of this enormous capital come from beyond what OpenAI itself generates?
That raises a crucial question, doesn't it? About the financing model for this scale of infrastructure. While OpenAI is generating significant revenue, it's certainly not enough to self-fund this kind of multi-gigawatt, multi-billion-dollar annual expenditure. The sources imply that other investors, or perhaps a combination of strategic partnerships, will need to step in. The locations for these massive data centers are still being evaluated across many different states, which suggests a strategic and very capital-intensive rollout. It hints at the immense investment required just to keep pace with AI development.
Yeah, incredible amounts of money. And this massive OpenAI deal clearly cements Oracle as a foundational player in AI infrastructure. But it seems they're not stopping at just serving tech giants. Are they also leveraging their cloud prowess to secure other strategic partnerships, perhaps even tying them into content acquisitions? Is that what we're seeing?
It appears so. Oracle is also reportedly in talks for a $100 million a year deal related to Paramount's potential acquisition by Larry Ellison's son, David.
Ah, the Paramount deal.
Right. Exactly. The implication is quite direct. If that acquisition goes through, Paramount would become a major Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI customer, moving all their CBS and MTV assets onto Oracle servers. So this isn't just about securing data center customers, it's a strategic play for media content ownership and broader ecosystem control, potentially. It's an interesting move, seeing cloud infrastructure providers diversifying their reach into content like that.
Very interesting. Okay, shifting to the broader tech market, we heard that while valuations remain high, the investment narrative around tech isn't just about hypergrowth anymore. What's the new perspective, and how are investors rethinking tech as a sector?
Well, tech is now being viewed not only as a pure growth sector, but also increasingly for its quality factor. This refers to companies with, healthy balance sheets, robust cash flow, especially from the mega cap companies.
Right, the big guys making real money.
Exactly. And it's also being recognized for a defensive sector characteristic. The pandemic, in particular, taught us a profound lesson. We cannot operate as the economy in our society without tech infrastructure as well as software. It highlighted that tech isn't a luxury, it's basically a utility, essential for modern life, making it a surprisingly resilient investment in some ways.
That makes a lot of sense, seeing tech as essential infrastructure. But even within the seemingly invincible Mag 7 tech names, we heard about a bifurcation. Some are winning big, others are lagging. What's really driving this divide? It can't just be about AI adoption on the surface, can it?
You're right. It's more nuanced than simple adoption. This bifurcation among the tech giants isn't just about who's adopting AI faster. It's a profound reevaluation of which business models are truly AI native versus those that are struggling to adapt and integrate AI into their core offerings. Those who have really invested and gone forward with AI and are seeing clear returns are definitely winning, like Meta and NVIDIA. Meta's investment in AI for advertising, for example, is paying off. NVIDIA, of course, is the picks and shovels provider for the AI gold rush.
Right.
Others, like Apple and Alphabet, have been left for dust or are laggards in this specific AI race, according to these sources. For Alphabet, their core search business, once that unassailable moat, is directly challenged by generative AI, forcing a strategic pivot that's both costly and, frankly, potentially existential.
Yeah, you said that before, the search challenge.
It's not just losing ground, it's about fundamentally reshaping how people find information. And Google's future depends on winning this new battleground, making AI investment even more critical for them going forward. Apple, well, with its integrated hardware-software cycle, it tends to move slower. And while it will undoubtedly integrate AI, it's not seen as an AI-first company in the same way right now.
And speaking of external forces shaping the tech market, The influence of geopolitics isn't just in cybersecurity. We saw direct cash flow hits from tariffs affecting companies like General Motors and chipmaker NXP Semiconductor. This isn't just a balance sheet entry, is it? It's a stark reminder of how global trade tensions are filtering down to every company's bottom line and investment decisions.
Absolutely. This is a very tangible, direct cash flow impact, illustrating the growing influence of geopolitics on technology investing. General Motors, for instance, saw a significant $1.1 billion hit to their adjusted earnings just from tariffs, plus another $600 million hit from EV inventory issues.
Ouch.
Yeah. Similarly, NXP Semiconductor, which gets over 50% of its revenue from the automotive sector, gave a less bullish forecast because they're dealing with an automotive chip inventory glut. These aren't isolated incidents, they're direct consequences of global trade policies, supply chain vulnerabilities, and the broader geopolitical landscape that is currently dictating a lot of technology investing and strategic decisions. It's unavoidable.
Right, unavoidable. And drilling deeper into that geopolitical current, a major headline recently was Microsoft accusing Chinese government-backed hackers of exploiting vulnerabilities in its SharePoint software, leading to global breaches. What did we learn about the scope of these attacks, and what does it tell us about the ongoing cyber conflict?
This was a highly significant incident, yeah. Microsoft specifically accused two Chinese government-backed groups, which they named Silk Linen Typhoon and another, for exploiting a critical vulnerability in their SharePoint software. The impact wasn't contained. The affected organizations were those hosting SharePoint on their own servers, and they spanned government agencies and businesses all over the globe, including the Middle East, Europe, and the United States.
All over the globe, okay.
And the key detail here is what the hackers were after. Login credentials, usernames, passwords, tokens. This strongly suggests attempts to launch subsequent, more widespread attacks. While Microsoft acted swiftly to patch the vulnerability, the crucial takeaway for companies is the urgent need to hunt for whether your systems were penetrated and what was taken. This is a stark reminder that cybersecurity isn't just an IT issue, it's a national security and economic stability issue.
Yeah, absolutely. That certainly feels connected to the broader US-China dynamic in tech. What's the overall picture of the geopolitics of AI as our sources laid it out? It sounds like a new kind of arms race, but with data and compute as the weapons.
If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
the global AI landscape is increasingly defined by two major superpowers, the United States and China. They're clearly leading in terms of talent, compute power, and the development of foundational models. However, we're also seeing Europe and the Middle East actively emerging as significant middle powers, making substantial investments in developing their own strategies.
So not just a two-horse race.
Not entirely, no. What's critical is that the regulatory approaches differ significantly across these regions, creating complex landscapes for companies to navigate. This forces global tech companies to realize they need to be present everywhere with their data centers, with their AI talent, and also with significant capital investment.
It's not just about market share anymore. It's about strategic geopolitical positioning.
Right. And the U.S. government is also trying to stake its claim in this AI race, with the president outlining a vision for AI policy. But there's a cautious view on government involvement here, isn't there? It's a tightrope walk between fostering innovation and ensuring safety.
This raises a very important question, definitely, about how government policy interacts with such rapidly evolving innovation. There's a widespread cautious view about governments overregulating, or even just heavily talking about cutting-edge tech like AI, Bitcoin, or blockchain. The concern is the need to tread very carefully to avoid getting in the way of innovation, which often moves faster than legislative cycles.
Much faster. Right. At the same time, governments absolutely have a mandate to protect consumers and national interests. It's a profoundly delicate balancing act. How do you provide guidance and guardrails without stifling the very innovation that drives economic growth and technological advancement? It's a challenge that, honestly, nations around the world are grappling with right now.
What a deep dive. Seriously. From the nitty-gritty of how AI data collection is being completely reimagined with decentralized, crypto-incentivized models, to the shifting tides of tech investment and the undeniable influence of geopolitical forces, it's clear that technology is weaving itself into every aspect of our world in increasingly profound and complex ways.
Indeed. Understanding these intricate connections, from the micro level of how data is sourced for a robot to the macro level of global power dynamics in AI and the financial shifts driving it, is absolutely crucial. It's not just about what's happening on the surface, but why it truly matters and what ripple effects it creates across society and industry.
So as you reflect on this deep dive, consider this. If the future of advanced AI hinges on private, ethically sourced data, and the current methods are fundamentally shifting towards decentralized, crypto-incentivized models. What does that truly mean for the traditional power structures of information? And who, ultimately, will control the training and evolution of the next generation of intelligent systems? What stands out to you about that profound shift?